Police arrest 3, seize luxury cars worth 1.5 million in Charlotte street racing bust. Let me say that again. Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, the city and state that I live in right now, arrest 3 and seize luxury cars worth 1.5 million in Charlotte street racing bust. North Carolina police does not around. Let's go to the news and see what they have to say.
Tonight, CBD says it has made 3 arrests and seized multiple vehicles as part
Lambos.
of the street racing crackdown.
The agency says it worked with Highway Patrol to conduct the operation. In total, 5 of these vehicles were seized, worth a total of more than $1.5 million. CBD says 3 of the cars are connected to national groups known for illegal street racing activity. Along with the 3 arrests, 2 people were cited for their involvement as well.
National group of street racing. So what does that mean? That means that they do this everywhere. And how would CMPD and North Carolina Highway Patrol find that out? Because they're in the group chats, they're on Instagram with the fake burner pages, right? They're right in the middle of it. That's reconnaissance 101. They're right in the middle of it. They do their due diligence and they know. So for backstory, let me give you guys some backstory. Streetcar takeover came to Charlotte, North Carolina this past weekend. Well, technically Concord, but Concord, Charlotte, same thing. They came to the Charlotte Motor Speedway up at the ZMAX, which I was actually there, and I might put some footage up about that, doing some of the roll racing and shit. But long story short, it's a weekend-long event. They normally come on Thursday. Thursday is the big party that they always do up at a big car meet that they always do up at Twin Peaks at Concord Mills. They always take that over, and I'll put up footage of that here after probably tomorrow or something like that. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday is the car meet. Friday is the roll racing at the ZMAX. And then Saturday is the drag racing from a dig at the ZMAX. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, that 3-day span right there is nothing but cars. Cars. Everybody's bringing their fast shit out. You see people from Texas, from Georgia, Virginia, all over the South coming to Streetcar Takeover because they want to get on the ZMAX and get into some action. But everybody also knows that after the car meet on Thursday, Friday and Saturday, right? It rained on Saturday, so things was kind of chill. But Friday and Saturday, everybody gets on the highway and they get to it. I can't tell you how many group chats I got added to, people trying to get me to come out and bring the cat out. No, I'm not. And this is why. All right, so boom. Let me see here. Police arrest 3, seized luxury cars worth 1.5 million in Charlotte street racing bust. Street racing crackdown in Charlotte resulted in multiple arrests, police seizing high-end cars, including 2 purple Lamborghinis. All right, so this is not just Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. This is not just an accident. This was an actual operation, crackdown, that they have been working on for quite some time. You know what I mean? That's the one difference that I realized between North Carolina Highway Patrol or just North Carolina Police in general and a lot of the other departments that we review on this channel, whether it's GSP, ASP, Texas Police, CHP, California Highway Patrol. The one thing I noticed about North Carolina is that they have relatively loose restrictions as it pertains to police chases. Like, to my understanding, they're not supposed to pitch you after a certain mile per hour. They would rather not pitch you after a certain mile per hour. Now, if you are a murderer on the run or a warrant stop or something like that, they're probably going to go full stop at you. They're not going to let you get out of that chase safely. But they have a lot of rules and regulations on what they can and cannot do in the state of North Carolina. Like, we're really strict about that. Mind you, this is the Bible Belt of the South. So we're really strict when it comes to a lot of the laws as it pertains to highway chases and things of that sort, which is why you'll probably never see a North Carolina Highway Patrol or Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department Highway Patrol, Charlotte Police Department police chase on this channel because, number one, they don't release that footage. Like, they don't make the body cam and the police chase dash cam footage readily available. Like, you can't just file a FOIA, which is a Freedom of Information Act, and get the footage like every other department can. North Carolina, they shut that type of shit down. South Carolina is the same way as well. And then also because, you know, they just don't release that type of footage. And they're really strict on what they can and cannot do as far as police chases are concerned. But where they get people at is the behind the scenes reconnaissance work. You know what I mean? Like, I know for a fact that CMPD has created fake Instagram pages, fake burner pages, right? Where they'll put up a fake ass Mustang, fake ass Lamborghini, some wild shit like that. And they'll add a bunch of people, and a bunch of people will add them, which are probably also police officers. And then they'll get invited to these group chats. You know what I mean? They'll get invited to these Instagram group chats. They'll get invited to text messaging threads, right? Text messaging group chats, Telegram group chats. You know what I mean? They'll get invited to all of this shit, and all they're doing is just sitting back, collecting intel, finding out who the key players are, finding out who are the people that are throwing these meets, who are hosting these meets, obviously finding out the location of these meets, you know what I mean? Who's coming to these meets, you know what I'm saying? All they're doing is just taking and collecting intel on all of this stuff so that they can hit you with a big ass seizure in operation, right? That's what they did in 2020. We talked about this on my channel years ago during the pandemic when they seized almost, I want to say they seized almost 30, 40, 50 cars and arrested like 20 people because these motherfuckers was going down to Westinghouse Boulevard, you know what I mean? And doing takeovers down there and street racing and all that shit. And literally CMPD in plain clothes would pull up, CMPD Highway Patrol in plain clothes would pull up, take videos and pictures of all the people at the meet, and they used all that shit against them when it was time for the Operation Crackdown. And they seized all their cars. Some of those cars have yet to be returned. But getting back to this specifically, let's see here, $1.5 million doing a joint street racing operation on Friday. Street racing operation. This was not haphazard. This was not a trooper that just happened to be patrolling 485 and saw some Lambos getting to it. This was an operation, which means they've been planning this for quite some time. CMPD and North Carolina State Highway Patrol deployed more than 40 law enforcement personnel on June 27th to combat illegal street racing in the community. Multiple CMPD units identified several vehicles violating North Carolina street racing statute. During this operation, 3 of the 5 vehicles were seized and are connected to national groups known why does it keep jumping like that? National groups known for illegal street racing, according to CMPD. And how would they know that? Intel, simple and plain, collecting intel on these individuals. And they knew for a fact that these individuals was coming to Charlotte this weekend to get it popping. Here are the Lamborghinis. You know what I mean? 2023 Lamborghini Huracan, 2023 Audi R8, 2022 Lamborghini Huracan, 2021 Ford Mustang. How the fuck did that get in that race? 2017 BMW 340 Xi. CMPD thanked the State Highway Patrol, Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office, and multiple police divisions for their participation in this operation. They keep using that word, operation. This was not an accident. They were not just on patrol on 485, running a normal, police beats or whatever the case may be. It was an operation. That's what separates North Carolina from a lot of other departments. Like, they want the big fish. And by big fish, they want everybody. They don't just want 1 or 2 Hellcats on the highway. They want the big fish. Like, they will create operations, create these fake Instagram and TikTok and Twitter pages, get added to the groups. I know this for a fact. Get added to the groups, get added to the Telegram groups, right? And they're just sitting back collecting information. Who's who, who's throwing the meets, where are these meets thrown at. And then that's not bad enough. They're going to clown you on their social media page. Look at this. CMPD HQ. This is on Instagram. Got the whole squad just chilling, posted up, right? Almost like somebody caught a deer or something, right? Like you just holding the deer as a prized possession. You got the whole squad out there. This is on Instagram. They got they got all of the law enforcement officers that were in cahoots or in participation. Got the 2 damn helicopters. What a hell of a picture. Got the 2 helicopters, one taking off and one is already in mid-flight. Got all of CMPD. I hope you guys can see this. Yeah, you can see it. I'm sorry. Got all of CMPD over here on the right and got all of North Carolina Highway Patrol on the left. You know what I mean? Obviously, you can tell the difference between the two. Got the whole squad out there. Over 40 law enforcement personnel came together to combat this dangerous trend in our community. I would assume this is some of the behind the scenes shots of, some of the deliberation that was taking place. Lamborghinis and the R8, 2 Lambos, random ass Mustang on a tire in the back. I'm sure it's fast, but just once again, it's always a random ass Mustang in the middle of shit. BMW, so they got all their cars on lock. You know, somebody said, but it took you more than 10 minutes to answer a 911 call. That's them putting you on blast on Instagram, not just Instagram, Twitter as well, right? On Friday, June 27th, Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, along with the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, conducted a joint street racing operation. Over 40 law enforcement personnel came together to combat this dangerous trend in the community. They're going to put you on blast everywhere. That's one thing I've noticed about North Carolina. They got no reason, no hesitation rather, in putting you on blast when you fuck up. When you fuck up and you get caught by them, they will put you on blast with the quickness. They did that during the 2020 raids that they did, that we talked about years ago on the channel, where they seized over, like I said, I think it was 30, 40, 50 cars and put about 20 people in jail. They put all of their cars behind the officer as he was giving a press conference to the local news. And that local news turned into national news, because I think at that moment that kind of set a precedent for how to deal with street takeovers and things of that sort. And then shortly after that, a law was enacted in North Carolina about street racing, not street racing, but street takeovers and what is legal and what is not. Which also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but maybe this is specific to North Carolina, but so it's if you're participating in a street takeover, you're obviously going to jail, felony. If you're spectating in a street takeover, like you're at the meet, you could potentially be going to jail as well, misdemeanor for spectating. But reposting videos now of street takeovers, illegal street takeovers, is punishable by law in North Carolina. That's something that our lawyers, hush, our lawyers just let us in on that. Reposting street takeover videos, if somehow or another they can prove that you were actually there and you posted a street takeover video, that as well can be considered a crime for which you could be punished by. But yeah, see, this is the thing about North Carolina, man. You're not going to see them chasing you all over 485. Like they're a quiet division, they're a smart division. They're not that division they're not that law enforcement agency that's going to chase you all around North Carolina, all up and down 485, crashing into cars, flipping you, this, that, and the other. They're going to conduct operations, right? They're going to sit back and say, all right, so these are our known street racers right here, right? Every weekend I get added to group chats and people DM me and say, hey, listen, here's the spot. Here's where we're going to be at. Do you really think I'm bringing my Charger Hellcat with a white stripe, the only white stripe that I've seen ever, to be real with you? Do you really think I'm bringing my Hellcat out so that we can go illegally street racing? You got street cameras. You got highway cameras. You got people taking video and reposting it. You think I'm stupid, bro? But yeah, every weekend I get added to these chats and people tell me all the time, oh yeah, we're meeting at Cookout. We're meeting at Dunkin' Donuts. We're meeting over here. We're meeting over there. And then we're going to go, no, I'm not doing that, bro. You got it. Y'all have fun. Good luck. And trust me, if I'm aware of it, as in it's being brought to my attention, 9 times out of 10, CMPD is as well, right? They're right in the middle of the group chat, just sitting back like this. They're just trying to find out who the major players are, who's actually racing, participating, who's hosting / gathering / throwing the meets, and the location. That's all they need. And then from there, it's pictures, it's videos, it's license plate, make and model, it's jail time. It works every single time. That's the one thing that I've learned about North Carolina police. It's just with them, they're a little more discreet with their actions. They use a little more intel with their actions. They're not the department that's just going to chase you all around the city and get Concord police and Kannapolis and Salisbury police. They're not that department. They're the department that if they catch you doing something wrong, they're going to let you go because they know that you are probably a part of a bigger group of people that are committing crimes. And it's one of those things like, let's let the little fish go so that we can in turn catch the big fish or the mini little fish or whatever the case may be. This right here is a big fish, $1.5 million in street racing cars being seized. That's what you call big fish. And the reason being is they could have gone out and gotten a bunch of fucking Mustangs and Hellcats and Scat Packs and Toyota Supras and little bullshit like that. This is what makes headlines. $1.5 million in Lamborghinis and Audis. That's what make headlines. That's what police want right there. They want that. They want that at the top of the article. This is what makes headlines. Police arrest 3, seizure of $1.5 million in luxury cars. That's when people start looking. That's what caught my attention. Everybody was tagging me in this article. If it was a bunch of Hellcats and Scat Packs, I wouldn't give a damn. I probably wouldn't touch it. But the fact that we're talking about $1.5 million in Lambos and Audis, oh yeah, that caught my attention with the quickness, and it caught their attention as well. They knew about this whole situation. They was in the group chats. They had already done their reconnaissance. They had already gathered as much intel as they needed. They knew what these people were doing, where they were doing it, and who was involved. I mean, it's literally, hook, line, and sinker. Like, they knew what was coming. It was easy for them. Now, as far as how they caught 2 Lamborghinis, I don't know. Because I'm going to be real with you. If I'm in a purple Lambo and I see 12 behind me, I ain't stopping. You know what I mean? So maybe they were able to box them in, or maybe they pulled up to their house or something like that the morning of or the day of or something like that, which has happened in North Carolina years ago. I think 2015, 2016, when the Hellcat was first popping like that, there was this dude who had a Challenger Hellcat. He was on 485. And for those of you that know 485, 4 lanes coming, 4 lanes going, it's literally a highway that goes around the city of Charlotte. But your boy was on 485. And I think he hit like 165, 170. And his homeboys was filming him. He was filming himself. Posted it to Instagram. There were no police in the area whatsoever. Posted it to Instagram. I think it went viral. And somebody saw it that didn't like the video. And they sent that video to the sheriff's Facebook. The Charlotte, North Carolina, or the Charlotte Sheriff's Department in Charlotte. The Sheriff's Department in Charlotte, I'm sorry. Sent the video to them. And they went and arrested the dude because we had his make and model, had him in it, and had his license plate in the videos that his homeboy was taking. Open and shut case, simple and plain. Listen, guys, this is why I don't get into the street racing shit right here. This right here. You know what I mean? And they will put you on blast. They are notorious for putting people on blast on their social medias. Instagram, Twitter, they're going to clown you because, this is an achievement for them. You know what I mean? But yeah, the 2 Lambos, that's wild, man. 2 Lambos, 1.5 million. The Audi, there's always a random Mustang. And I'm sure that Mustang is probably powerful as shit because it was on the tire. But I mean, regardless, it just burns me up about the 2 Lambos, man. But yeah, they don't fuck around in North Carolina. That's North Carolina police's MO right there. We're going to sit back. We'll let you do the stupid shit. We'll give you enough rope to hang yourself because we know that you are. You're not just going to street race one time and never do it again. You're going to street race. You're going to run from local CMPD, right? CMPD has a no chase policy. And then you know what? You're going to do it again. And by the time you do it again, we'll be ready for you because we'll have a what? Operation in place to stop you, right? Look at them. Just post it. Everybody's chilling here. They look good. You know what I mean? I love the Mustang. I've already told you guys, I love that North Carolina Highway Patrol went back to the Mustang, or at least went back to this graphic. I love the Charger, obviously, but I love this new Mustang. Then you got your boy CMPD. I see those guys every single day. You know what I mean? I can't get mad at them. Good cop work all the time. Good cop work. The operation worked. And they knew exactly what they were looking for. They went for the Lambos and the Audi so that they could send a message. They didn't go for the Scats and the Cats or the 5.0s, the Camaros, the Toyotas, the Hondas. They went for the top of the top. But as always, guys, I've told you, just be cool out there. Either be good or be good at it, man. You know what I mean? Because the police are watching, especially in North Carolina. If you decide to come to North Carolina to get into some foolishness, some illegal activity, I just want you to know that 9 times out of 10, that group chat that you've got on Instagram or Telegram, I'm sure there's a CMPD officer right in the middle of it. And all he's doing is screen recording every message that gets sent and sending that right back to HQ. And they're just laughing at you, right? You're talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to smoke that Hellcat. I'm going to smoke that. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to jail. That's what's going on. Lamborghinis, you're going to jail. Audi, you're going to jail. Random ass Mustang on the tire, you're going to jail. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. Good cop work wins every time. I can't get mad at them. They're doing their job. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their job. I can't get mad at them. Shout out to North Carolina Highway Patrol. Shout out to CMPD. You're doing your job. I can't get mad at you. Either be good or be good at it. They were neither of the two. And that's why, your boy's in jail at this point, I would imagine. They may have bonded out. I don't know. But as always, like, subscribe, comment. It's been your boy Knockout 360. I'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.